Good evening all from the RAEL organization, from the sober me, and if I wasn't sober I would be trying to rob all instead of greet all. So here we are again by God's grace this evening, just to share our experience, strength and hope, and I think the most rewarding part about being here is first of all having the rewards of sobriety and everything that goes along with what drugs robs you of, what it takes away from people. You know, there's addicts out there that don't intentionally get addicted, and when I say don't intentionally get addicted is not only the naughty abusers like me that abuse more because they enjoy it, and then abuse more, and then abuse more, and then can't go without it. There's people that innocently get put onto medication sometimes, and it's already a little bit of a crutch in their lives and stuff, and then things happen in life, and then we maybe take one extra one now and then, and eventually we need an extra script. Sorry, now I'm laughing at something else, because I've got an audience here as well, and like I said, I never liked the spotlight, because when the spotlight was on me, people could see me stealing. And that's what I've done in my addiction. And I didn't only steal things from people. I didn't only steal from myself. But I believe, and we see it on a daily basis, how addiction is robbing everybody. How it's robbing everybody, and it's breaking families apart. It's what believe is straight out of the pit of hell, that is just here to destroy us. And today we've got a milestone on the farm of Werner that came in on the 11th of December 2018. Also comes from a very lonely background where drugs and his lifestyle had taken him. Qualified game ranger, had top jobs at different safaris, and today sits here with not only a good connection with his family, but with a new family. And I think all the watchers and the people that comment on our posts and things like that all boost the guys to make them know and remember that there are people out there rooting for them. Sorry, it's just a habit that I smoke in meetings, but I'm not sorry. Camel Classic, Mr. And that's how we need to support each other. And I say to the guys a lot of the times that I came in here completely broken, got my life together and things like that, and then stopped taking advice, got bigger than the game, humility went out the window, and then I slowly started slipping back into my old ways, which almost killed me. So Werner comes from a lonely background. There is a list of names that we sort of keep up to date with and keep track of. There's a couple of guys' names that because of the stigma that's still attached to addiction, which I can't understand. I know that in my own experience, I almost said rape, rob and steal, but I didn't rape. I robbed and I stole and caused destruction and things like that. But that is what goes along with the illness. Those things, almost a lot of those behaviors automatically leave just by the drugs being done. The real part that needs to change is the inside of me and my motives for doing things. And it's wrong in a sense. It's maybe because it's self-inflicted to a certain point. But like I said, many people didn't become addicts because that was their intention. Many of them, you know, if I had my first hit of heroin, and when it was offered to me, if somebody had asked me, would you like 10 years of destruction, stealing, jails, in and out of institutions, living on the streets, then I probably would have said no, thank you. And maybe I wouldn't have, because I was a little stubborn and slim. That's what we call it here in South Africa. That is thinking I'm very clever and that certain things can't happen to me. But it's like, yeah, so I think addiction at the moment is very unrecognized. And I always speak about the stigma attached to it, because the securities still follow me around in the shop that I've never stolen from. I've done a lot of other work on that same block, but yeah, the video shop was one of them that I got 18 months for, and that's fine. That's out in the open. I done that. But you would get jealous people that if I would lively, on a live feed, admit to other things, that they would go and try and be vindictive and start something, or try and, there's always people and obstacles along the way that would try and bring people down when they're doing good. So that's why we stand together the way we do. That's why we love people until they can love themselves. Yeah. So tonight there isn't a specific topic, just that today we spoke to a guy that has come in, that's in our quarantine section, and addiction, as like everybody else that is addicted, got him by the balls, and he had certain behaviors and things that went along with his addiction, and all the destruction and harm that goes with it. So you know, my first thing was when he spoke about the people that he hurt and things like that, it's usually his closest household family and things like that. And when I looked at the tears in this guy's eyes, there was real remorse and regret. And you know, there's this constant argument that people have, addiction is a choice and not an illness. So if addiction is a choice, then why, when I have a drink which is legal, I cannot control what happens after that? Because I'm 9 out of 10 times, or more than 9 out of 10 times, just about 10 times out of 10 times, I'm going to have another drink and another drink and another drink and another drink after that. And that is because the wiring maybe in my brain has been changed over the years. I've lost the ability to be able to control any mind or mood altering substance, and obviously there's different levels of addiction. But the very people that is teaching that to people is making them believe that their physical makeup It's like telling a person that is allergic to peanuts, if they do some certain things, that they won't be allergic to peanuts anymore. And that they'll be able to eat peanuts without getting sick again. If I drink alcohol or take something from the pharmacy that makes me high, or something from the street dealer, I lose control and my life becomes unmanageable, and my own history has proven that to myself. And a lot of the times we want to get from A to Z, but we don't like the in-between. So anything that we want to do in life, I know when I was studying to be a chef, and I was working in the hospitality industry, obviously like any person, and this goes for any data capturing or whatever it is you do. There's certain parts of your job that you don't like. There's certain parts of life that you don't like. Like everybody wants a dog, but not everybody likes picking up the dog's mess. And that's how it is in recovery. There's a lot of selective parts of the program that we like when we feel like it, and not only even in recovery, but with normal people as well. So I think one of the big things in addiction recovery and life is to be able to. We need to go through the whole alphabet. Otherwise, if we skip certain parts or skip certain letters of the alphabet is never going to be complete. And that's how we come into recovery. With letters all missing in between our alphabet. And it's almost like learning the alphabet when you're starting school. You learn how to do the capital A, you learn how to do the lowercase a, and you go through the letters like that. And the thing with the spiritual principles and doing recovery is that eventually we get all the letters, and the letters are the spiritual principles. And I don't know if obviously everybody's noticed that everybody's handwriting is different. So we're using the same spiritual principles, which is basically the letters of the alphabet, if you want to use that analogy. And I'm writing the same letters as you, but my handwriting's a little bit different. But the letters are there. That is the point. And so we've seen different people. Some people maybe get some of the letters are better at doing some letters better than others. And that's how if I'm better at doing B and you better at doing C, then I learn from you how to do C and you learn from me how to do B. And that's the way we should be helping each other in recovery. When Werner put his hand up here this evening when we asked about the milestones and things like that, it's a massive thing for somebody to be 20 months sober. Where we're not a lockdown facility. He's got his own car here. He's had work and things like that in the town. Obviously the COVID and all this ESCOM stuff and everything affected his line of work. But the lovely part about he's 20 months sober today, because the guys take an interest in each other and have a certain love for each other. Most of the oaks over here knew, because that's how they get to know each other. They don't only speak about drugs and the parties and the things they stole anymore. Life takes on a whole new different meaning. And you lose the selfishness and self-centeredness. And So watching Werner grow from December 2011, no, the 11th of December 2018, sorry. In December 2011, I was still drugging. That's actually funny. December 2011, I was living in the yard of a house that I was evicted from because I was on parole, waiting for my parole to finish so that I could go to Joburg and think that I could start a new life there without recovery and taking the problem with me. That was me, which was short-lived. So, and I was warned about that as well, trying to move around, trying to find shortcuts and trying to get to Z without learning how to do the other letters in between properly. Because then if you try and write a sentence, you're not going to be able to read it. You're not going to understand what you're writing. And that's how it is in recovery. You got to do certain things in a certain way to be able to get certain results, and there isn't shortcuts. So I just want to quickly go through today's, just for today, before I give Werner a couple of minutes on the live feed. I see he is watching, even though he's sitting over here next to me, because maybe he can reach people that's on his Facebook that knows where he comes from and how he used to be and how he is now. Werner is the guy that feeds the dogs, Mr. Hall. I think he might be overfeeding them at the moment because it's going down very quickly. But that's the love that we have for our animals, and Werner's actually in charge of that, and I think that has made a big difference in Werner's recovery. And the gist for today is active listening. Through active listening, we hear things that work for us. So when we're speaking and we have our meetings and we're sharing and all of that, it is most of us arrived at the program with a very poor ability to listen. But to take full advantage of the therapeutic value of one addict helping another, we must learn to listen actively. What is active listening for us? In meetings, it means we concentrate on what the speaker is sharing while the speaker is sharing. We set aside our own thoughts and opinions until the meeting is over. That's when we sort through what we've heard to decide which ideas we want to use and which we want to explore further. So we keep an open mind, because something we heard that we might want to discard, maybe we just haven't been in that position or situation in our lives to be able to use the experience that that person has passed on. We can apply our active listening skills in sponsorship too. Newcomers often talk with us about some major event in their life. For some person, because we've all got the same but different makeup, because maybe if the same thing is done or said to me and the same thing is done or said to Werner, we feel differently about it.
And Lisa crashed his car.
Okay, yeah, Lijay did crash his car, but he's fine and he's still sober, and that just makes that accidents do happen. And Lijay is on less hours at work, 1 week on, 1 week off, and he's not sure how he's going to get there. Okay, we'll help him with the lift until he can afford to get his car fixed. But so everybody's taking strain, and that's the thing. Active listening isn't only for drug addicts and people in recovery. We beg, we plea, we say things to people. We say that addiction isn't a choice and that it is an illness. And that you don't think so until you're in a similar situation. Okay, either I'm boring our viewers, or they're listening intently and not commenting. Because I tell you, I was busy getting there, when that guy sat here today and had tears in his eyes about how many people he's hurt and who he's hurt and what he was going through and things like that.
Granny's doing well.
I clenched my fists and I thought of getting my own Casper and riding through the dealer's lounge.
Granny's doing well.
But that isn't the solution.
Yeah.
And so Lee J crashes his car, and that's fine. The other guys here, like Angus, that's looking after Mrs. Hall, is keeping her very happy. She's still wanting to watch cricket, and we're just waiting for the weather to get a little bit better here, and then we'll have a game of cricket for Granny to watch amongst the guys. And
Carl is on the disabled.
that is part of our recovery. Who?
Carl has donated half of his savings to the disabled and the animal welfare.
Okay. Nice of Carl. I know that he said that he was going to donate half of his savings to the Disabled Association. But it's the first time I hear about the animals now, Mr. Hall. That's nice, Carl. That's lovely of you. So I just want to go through a couple of the names that are the guys that I first got permission. And some people might know them, some people might not know them, but this is just a few of the names that I've managed to get into contact with, or that's still in contact with us, that I asked them, is it okay if I mention your name on the meeting? Because there might be people that know people that maybe know your name and think that you're still drugged, or think that you're still wherever you are. And maybe when they seen you, lost contact with you because they thought that there was no hope. But maybe they know somebody that's in a similar situation. So I've got Angus, I've got Jared Delario, Carl Richardson, Freddie Kaas, Rian van Rooyen, Justin Potgieter, Big J. He's very active on social media and on our pages and things as well. And he's the one that lives in Richwood, and he's married to Tosca. Tosca's the one that the lady that helped us with the Orange Friday, hey, Mr. Hall?
Yeah.
And Andrew Penkin, Alexander LaRue, who was yesterday or 2 years ago 2 years sober, hey, Mr. Hall, from Saldanha. And these are all people from different areas with different skills. Graham van Rensburg, Richard Ferreira, Andrew Brown, Werner Brunslav, who is 20 months sober today, Grant van Rensburg, Garther Elario, Lee Jason van Rede, Storm Rider Stevenson, Ryan Tank Engelke, Zain Zamar, Luandre, who you guys seen the other evening, Donovan Visser, Pierre Pina, Gladwin, who is watching this evening, Jan Destro, Dusty Werner, Jared Stassen, Jason Green, and there's lots more names, but these are people that I'm almost in contact with at least once a week, whose lives were wrecked when they came here. Completely. I'm not saying that we had all good times with them. And these are only the names from me being here since 2014 and then breaking my service in 2016. And then starting to actively listen again and practice the principles and all of that. And we've got some really good and skilled guys here that has been broken, that we sometimes quickly we see them making a turn and sometimes slowly, but there's all growth in all of them that are here. every single person. I tell you that when you come into this facility and you leave after 6 months, you will be changed. You will be changed. Obviously, for ongoing recovery, it's the person that leaves here, their responsibility and disciplines and skills and things like that could keep them changed. Sorry. And this is what we hope for everybody. There's guys here that are studying online at the moment. I know Lee J qualified not too long ago online. There's all the normal things that sometimes you don't get to because the partying and the drugs and the addiction drives you in other ways to get. We've had about 8 people that in the last 2 years that have passed out on their code 8 and some of them have gotten code 10 PDP licenses, and then there's guys that have gone on to open their own businesses and are doing very successful. But I think the biggest thing about this place is that, like Mr. Hall's the founder, the owner, Mr. Hall eats the food that the people eat on the program because it is better than what a lot of people that come here eat at home, on or off drugs, before or after drugs. And I think that in a way, for a person that's living on the streets, when they come in here, it should feel like paradise for them. And then maybe a person that's living off their parents from Bishop's Court, and they maybe haven't had to sell anything because they've been smoking their parents' money out or snuffing their parents' money out. For them, it brings them a little bit more down to earth and realize that they cannot live off their parents for the rest of their lives. Who are you replying there to, Clutchy? Because I'm not seeing the comments pop up here. I've seen Clutchy's comment there now. Yeah, I've seen Clutchy's comment. I don't know. But it's fine. Don't worry about it, Carl. Because we're practicing active listening here. No, it's okay. I'll go through the comments afterwards. And like we always say, if there's any questions or anything like that, then don't hesitate to inbox us. The ability to listen actively was unknown to us in isolation of our addiction. Today, this ability helps us actively engage with our recovery. Through active listening, we receive everything being offered to us from this program. And we share fully with others the love and care we've been given. Just for today, I don't have all the answers. I still need to be an active listener. Just like Werner, who's going to speak now in 2 minutes. Oh, okay. I see the comment there, Mom. Yes, I do have a dog. Her name is Gracie. And she's a bull terrier. And I don't need to worry about anything wherever I go if she's next to me. I will strive to be an active listener. I will practice active listening when others share and when I share with others. Okay, so that's sort of the message that I wanted to get across this evening, is that I think we need to sort of find a little bit more empathy when it comes to drug addiction and all of that. And I know we mentioned last night, and it might even sound a little bit sick, But I would start suggesting to parents that, or to people, that maybe we need to start something like a rehabilitation policy. Because 8 out of 10-year-olds, as we speak now, will go on to experiment and to play with drugs. And at the moment, as the statistics stand, sadly, at some they will be addicted for a while. 6 out of 10 of them. And that is only the statistics that we know of people that have asked for help. So the drugs have gotten worse, the rehabs have gotten less. You've gotten these fly-by-nights that have also robbed people. People that carry a message that say that addiction is a choice. But when I make the choice to put booze over my lips, I lose my choice over the next one and the next one and the next one and the next one. So if I wasn't physically ill in some kind of way, why wouldn't I be able to stop? Like I said, if somebody's allergic to peanuts, you can't suddenly, you can make their life manageable and you can help them accept that when they have peanuts they get sick. But you cannot tell them that they are not allergic to peanuts anymore and they've got a choice. Today my choice is to either work the program or not work the program and use drugs. Life or death. And I'm glad to say and share with you that Werner has chosen life. Even through the times that he's been through. Yeah, I know in the beginning, when it was summer in December in 2018, when it was the drought, then most days we just used to ask Werner to stand on the grass because he would water it with his tears. And that was just what Werner needed to go through to get to Z. And once you go through the whole alphabet again, you start practicing at A to get it all the letters a bit better. And that's how we grow. Thank you for listening this evening. I'm going to let Werner speak for a couple of minutes just on his journey from the isolation and loneliness and the places that he's been. But more importantly, what his recovery has been like and how different it feels now compared to what it used to 2 years ago. Thank you everybody for listening. And I'll give the chair to Werner Brunslav. What's your second name, Werner?
Otto.
Who?
Otto.
Okay, Werner Otto Brunslav. There's the chair. Thank you, everybody.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this video. My name is Werner. I'm here 20 months today. I'm just gonna share a little bit about my journey from the day I entered RAEL till now. Before I came to RAEL, I was a nature guide, advanced nature guide at Game Reserve in Ceres, and before that I was in big 5 game reserves all around South Africa, mostly up north, Kruger National Park and KZN, KwaZulu-Natal area. And my addiction went so far that every time I lost my job towards the drugs I was been using, especially weed and alcohol. everywhere I was going, I tried to run away from my pain and suffering. But I was running away from myself. And everywhere I'm going, that was following me all around. And on the 11th of December 2018, I make a big decision to come to RAEL. It was very hard for me because I was in rehabs before. This was my third rehab, and hope also my last rehab I'll be here. And when I arrived at RAEL, I thought it's going to be like in a quick 6 months program for me. And
Werner, you liked trance parties, eh? What did you used to do at trance parties?
Well,
that was part of your journey getting here.
That was part of my journey to getting. It was all around in Joburg, and
Can you get petrol there for Werner?
I'll try my best.
Don't ask anybody for petrol money
I won't.
On the feed, eh?
I won't. So yeah, before I become a nature guide, it's like I was studying in Pretoria, working in Pretoria in different companies, security companies, and it was long hours for me. It's 12 hours to 24 hours, sometimes double shifts. So I tried to get my energy. So it all started on the age of around about 20. I started smoking weed for the first time. And then over that, I started drinking, smoking weed, and then I started using cat, and that is where it all began. And I went to parties, trance parties, clubs, pubs, and what happened is I will tell my parents like in my mum Monday night I will go out for the night and I will see them and I will see them. And that normally takes about a week, 2 weeks. I will be out and about, visiting friends, staying at friends' places, and yeah, it was only eating myself up from the inside, and also destroying my family. I didn't care about my family. I cared more about myself. It was a selfish program. I was a selfish person. I tried to do everything for myself and not for anyone else. So over the years, as I went out clubbing, partying, my time period of staying away from home is like from a week to 3 months to 4 months, 5 months. And at the end of the day, it was like so bad that I'll maybe find my parents to say that I'm coming home for the night to shower and eat, and then the next morning I'll be leaving out, go to work, and from work on I'll party out and start partying every night as much as possible. And that was destroying my life, because I always had money, I was working for my money, and I was spending my money. So it's all about money, and drugs, and myself. And I couldn't believe how I did it, how long I did it. I know how I did it. It's just because for that time I didn't realize how dangerous drugs was. Because I thought it was just like a line here, and a pill there, and a spliff there, and a drink there, and it becomes so bad that I need that to keep going. But over the years, I destroyed my parents' lives. I destroyed myself. I destroyed my family. And
did you cry a lot when you got here?
When I arrived at RAEL, yes, I did cry a lot in the first 6-7 months. The reason for that was when I came here. First of all, I came on 11th of December 2018. I missed my mom's wedding on the 12th of January for next year, and I missed Christmas with him. So I didn't really see him for quite a long time after I came back from Pretoria to Ceres. I was here 6 months in Ceres, and I suppose I need to go home for my mom's wedding, but that didn't happen because of my alcohol and my drug abuse. And when I came at RAEL, it's like everything changes. I thought I know how the game's been, how RAEL's, how recovering has been working, because I've been on rehabs before. But this RAEL is totally different from the rest of other rehabs I've been. The first rehab I've been to was a Christian-based rehab. It's only Christian based, so it was more like in Bible. We didn't do 12 steps as we do it here at RAEL. And the reason why I was emotionally broken. I was in self-pity mode. I was not open-minded. I wasn't honest. I wasn't willing for myself. And that was where the hell came in. Honesty. I wasn't honest with myself. I wasn't honest with my parents. I wasn't honest with my family. Willingness. I wasn't willing to do the program for the first couple of months, because I thought I didn't have a problem, but I did.
Tell Werner to talk a bit louder there, man.
And we can't hear you.
And
I'll come and talk about you on there. Give me the end of RAEL life story.
I try my best, Mr. Hall. And yes.
Gebruik hy stem van jou.
And this Mr. Kant, making fun of my voice, but I don't care.
Because 2 years ago you would have been crying if I don't know.
And, 2 years ago, over 7 years I've been
got a solution.
In the guiding industry, because I'm dealing with a lot of guests and all that. I have a problem with my voice. People couldn't understand me. I couldn't speak clearly. I still have a problem, because I still need to learn how to talk properly. So when I came at RAEL, as I said, the first couple of months was very, very bad for me. I wasn't honest to myself and my family in the beginning. I wasn't honest on the program. I wasn't open-minded. I didn't want to do things their way. I want to do it my way. It's always about myself. And willingness. I wasn't willing to do the step work. I didn't do willingness to do recovery work. And the first thing what was really hitting me is my parents told me that why you will come and visit me. And I was waiting for the first time my family said, "Now why can you come visit me?" But they didn't. I said the next month. Alright, so I believe him, and I was waiting for the next month for visiting weekend. And on the phone phone call weekend, what was saying was, "No, we're gonna phone me, and they will come visit me." So yeah, okay, first month went past, the second month went past, the third month went past, and so on and so on and so on. And every time on visiting weekend, when the rest of people's family come visit them, I was in self-pity mode. And I couldn't understand why my parents couldn't come visit me. I know they're staying far, they're staying in Pretoria. I'm in the Western Cape, so it's quite a far bit. But yes, I went through it. I struggled for the first couple of months. I really struggled to overcome that self-pity mode. But at the end of the day, after a year, 2 years, after a year, a couple of months, I understand the sneer. I also have to recover. So, yes, and I just let it go. I let my emotions go, and let my parents are waiting for their time. Not my time, it's their time. And
God's time.
And in God's time as well. So what happened is, I overcome that. I stopped becoming self-pity. I doing the program. I let it go, and I was praying a lot as well. Also give everything to God. And not only that, is because Mr. Hall and Mr. Mr. Schuler, Kurt Schuler, was always there for me, having that support. And if I wasn't arrived at RAEL and I didn't come to RAEL, and if it wasn't Mr. Hall and Mr. Schuler, I couldn't get through by my self-pity mode and my emotions, because I need to work through it, and it was very difficult. But also, now I can smile about that, because I don't go into self-pity mode. My parents still 20 months, no visit. I do get still tuck shop money, but it's only that much they can afford. And I'm happy. I'm happy here. I'm glad they still supporting me, supporting from management as well. As I said, Mr. Schuler was on the program with me for the first couple of months, and yes, and I learned a lot from him as well. And yes, one day, the time will come that my parents will come down and come visit me, or maybe go up there and come visit them. But it's only in God's time. And one thing I was always learning and thinking about this: I could do all things through Christ who strengthens me. God is the most important person in my life. If I didn't believe in God 6 months ago or 7 months ago, I could get in my car and the driver and I can leave, but I didn't, because I know there's more to my life than anything else. So I put all my trust and care in the loving hands of God, and only God can actually show me the way. And without God, where I'll be, in jail, on the streets, or in the grave. And I don't want to choose one of those three. So I did become more caring towards myself. I'm looking after myself. I'm doing the program. I'm sober. And yes, the whole time I've been at RAEL is like it's a step-by-step program. Without that, all the tools I've been using is like I can actually become more happy. I'm happy now. I'm doing what I need to do. I'm caring for the dogs. I think the dogs is also like sort of a medicine for me. I'm an animal lover, so yes, the dogs are difficult sometimes, but you know what? I keep going. I put one foot in front of the other foot, and also put God before everything else. Mr. Hall always said to me a couple of months ago, about 6-7 months ago, I become self-pity, and I was in self-pity mode, and I'm only caring about myself. I must grow up and all that, and I took it in for a long time, and now I can say, listen here, I don't have to become a self-pity. If people mocking me or talking bad about me or say something bad about me, I just let it go, turn around and walk away, because that's the right thing. I'm not going to destroy my life for someone else. I'm here for myself, I'm here for my parents, and I'm here for my family to get them back. And we're still in recovery. And and if I can do that, I'm happy. And yes, there's still a lot of work for me to be done here. Plenty.
Lot of work, lot of prayer.
A lot of work, a lot of prayer, and what is true. It's like without Mr. Hall and Mr. Schuler and God and my parents behind me, standing behind me, I couldn't do this.
Okay.
And yes, thank you very much, and I hope you guys have a wonderful evening, and Mr. Hall will be next online.
Okay.
very well done. Good evening all. Very well spoken there by Werner. He's had a long trip, a hard time to accept, and it's beautiful that he's on the road and he's finally at acceptance. Just a few things from our side. Bit wet here today, bit cold, but then in the... Kurt, did you ever drug when it was cold?
Oh, yes.
I did.
walked over the bridge and I could hardly walk because the wind was blowing me.
Okay. Rain amazing grace through your ribs.
Yes.
Trust everyone is well. Then I just want to say a couple of thanks. First to happy birthday to Pastor Marion Rabi. She has been with us for about 7 years. She's our head pastor. She's turned 79 today. She looks about 50. A good old Marion. We love her to bits. And her partner in crime, Pastor Katrina van Blurk. They came here today, brought us lovely cake, spoiled us, and yeah, it was wonderful to have them both. It's both, you know, these people don't get the spotlight, and when there's a newspaper article or there's something coming out, but it's tremendous work that they do. They do the most vital work on the rail farm. They bring the gospel. And Marion for the guy, and they're invaluable, absolutely invaluable. As with our excuse me, our pastor that comes to stay over now and then, Pastor Kearney. He's from Wellington and he used to work for Graham Beck. He comes here and you know, but Marion and Katrina work closely with the men, closely, and I don't think I always thank them enough. You know, you get to a point where you just almost take them for granted that, hey, they're here, they're doing their thing, and because maybe I can look at it this way, because they're part of our family, and they're a very important part of our family, and I thank Katrina's husband and a beautiful daughter and Marion's husband, Uncle Eber, for allowing them to come to us. You know, they come for free, and that to me is the true spreading of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Not sitting in a 30,000 mega church or 5,000 mega church wanting to know how much the takings are going to be for the day. Because then I may as well go to the horse racing in Kenilworth, which is banned at the moment. Go to the horse racing and go bet on the tote. Really, these people do so much for us. So God bless you, and may you continue. Then to our social media lady, Lee J. She's a absolute star, has been for 5-6 years, for all the work that she does. Good to see Helen Kutsi. Hi Helen, how are you? You can be so proud of Gladwin. He's going to share very soon, hopefully this week, and I'd love Gladwin to come up for a weekend and come join a weekend with us. Helen does tremendous work in the communities for the political party that she belongs to. No, she doesn't belong to the ANC. That's not a political party. That's a party of thugs and thieves. Helen belongs to the DA, and even though I don't belong to any party at the moment, she does tremendous work for the community and is a lovely person. Hi Debbie, Gladwin, very proud of you, huh? Very proud of you, Gladwin. Colleen, hi Colleen, Lee J. Vanessa, okay, old Vanessa. Kurt's mom went through hell but came back again. Okay, and then Diana, for real, yeah, Diana, I've got like 30 odd people between myself and Kurt to run here, and my mom and 11 dogs. Oh, it's on the dog subject. Thank you, Michelle, for another donation of dog food. That was very kind of you. I'll never ask you for human food, but anyone who sees it in their budget, I know it's a bit difficult at the moment to help me feed the 11 dogs here. These oaks can eat, huh? I don't know if they eat. Does anyone know, do dogs eat more in the winter than they do in the summer? Because I've had a dog all my life and he just ate all the time. Clutchy, my man, it was great to have you here for the weekend. You're looking brilliant. You know, people who've known you, Clutchy, and have seen you since you left and since you've come back to visit us. Oh, Clutchy, you just stay on that road, my brother. You're on a different level. Ora, my brother. always been my brother. We've known each other 35, 40 years. We've come a long, long way together. We didn't, obviously, we lost contact. There was like the booze got between us. Yeah, a wonderful man. He gives us the gospel on a Sunday, and he gives us, every Sunday, he speaks, Ura. Avril, how's it, Avril? Thank you very much. Okay, I'm just going through the names here. Oh, my friend Gil. How's it, Gil? Trust you well. Sharon, bless you. Beverly. Jared Brown, how's it? Rihanna DeToy, the doctor. Okay, she came on a bit late, so obviously she's on her 4th bottle of wine, but there's nothing wrong with it. She's not an addict. Conrad, a very good friend of mine. Kurt's father, lovely man. I've always got on very well with him. And the nice thing I liked about it, when Kurt went on his excursion a couple of years ago, I didn't lose. Conrad and I didn't fight and argue and scream and shout. You know, we were grown up about it, and he's a wonderful man. Really, really, really wonderful man. Jean van der Westhuizen, how's it? Michelle, Mavericks closed tonight. I don't know if they're closed. Are they closed?
On Women's Day, there's men there.
Oh, on Women's Day, there's men at Mavericks. Selwyn, how are you, my brother? God bless you. How are you doing? Thanks for all your comments that I get on Facebook as well. Good to see you, man. And we'll hit out there one day. Connie. Hi, Connie. Gertrude. Gertrude named my first dog for me. And then obviously Carl Ulefier, who thinks he is just something special. And he is. He's doing very well. You know, we tomorrow we get another person in, and they've taken up our offer of heavily reduced prices. You know, we sat down, Kurt and I, and we worked out, okay, what do we need just to come even? It's not a case of, oh, well, we need so much to get the next plane to Mauritius or that. That's not what this business is about. And the businesses that we know of some rehabs that are hectically expensive, they've got 1 or 2 people there. And instead of just opening it up and let more people come in there, more people for protection, more people to get away from the virus, more people to try and save their lives, more people that we can show a bit of love to, more people that can that maybe they're just going to change their lives. That's what it's all about. You know, we can look at the ANC, and we can look at Chuck Norris, O'Chelly, and Zol Zuma, and Frogman. They don't care about us, man. They've got their bodyguards, they've got everything. Our children are on the streets, man. And I'm telling you now, I've seen it, and I saw it in the West Coast this week, is that more of our families, not only sons and daughters, families are on the streets. I went through Malmesbury when we came back, and there was a family sitting outside a shop, and I went in to get a cool drink, and I thought, wow, from where I come from, that was me sitting on that shop bench. And I went in and I bought them bread, and I bought them avocado pear, and them a couple of rand, and it was all, when I walked over to my car, it was just there but for the grace of God go I. Because that was me 16 years ago. And there were good people there on my travels in South Africa that just come up and give me something to eat or give me something to drink. And I'll never forget those people. They were like angels in my life. They were God's angels. And God sends us angels to look after it. You know, you meet, in this line of work, you meet the rich and the poor, but there's one common denominator, the pain. You can have 10 million or no million, but the pain doesn't go away. You can't pay money for pain to go away. And that's what I've seen over how long I've been in active addiction and in sobriety. It's over 35 years, so this is really all I know. I don't know much else. Are there any... Sorry, I'm just going through here just in case I forgot someone, and then we could hold resentments. And we don't... Hey, Cindy, I forgot Cindy. How's it, Cindy? And Mick. and then Annette, hi Annette, and then Richard Ferreira, our Springbok wrestler. And on the 5th of September, we're having a family day here, and we're going to invite, or we are inviting, you're all invited, for all our ex-members, not all of our ex-members, there's some I don't want yet to come back, because I don't like troublemakers anymore, because the way we used to deal with troublemakers, you can't deal with them like that anymore. Only if you want to come and be friends with each other. And Richard's going to do a striptease, he promised, for the ladies, because I want to show we're normal people. We don't become in a closet, I and Ned Stoltz, we don't become in a closet when suddenly you get sober, man. You have to enjoy life, and you enjoy life, but you do the next right thing, man. And the next right thing is always nice, because then you put your head on the pillow at night and you actually enjoy yourself. Hello, Andrew. Very proud of you as well, Andrew. Keep on going. I hope to see you on the 5th as well. And when we put our head on the pillow, it was like this evening. If I can just change the subject. This evening, I walked into my mom's room and Angus was there. And now we've got 2 nurses. We've got Angus, but the one nurse is off. She comes back. She comes back tomorrow. So we're providing employment for 2 people. And they're looking after my mom, especially Angus, is in such a beautiful way. And the other nurse. Hi, Dion. Thank you for your call today, Dion. Clutchy baby. I just saw my mom, and she was lying in her bed and she was smiling and talking, not nonsense, just like talking. And then she wanted a chocolate, and the oaks ran around here because Carl the Great, Carl who does the tax people, he stole mom's chocolate last night. Because I asked him, Jada, Carl, I feel like a chocolate. It's about 12 o'clock at night. I would love a chocolate. And he said, Mr. Hall, there's chocolate in your mother's room. So I said, okay, I can take it, man. So he went to go and steal it. I wouldn't have taken it. Definitely not. So there was no chocolate for mom. And the guys come out, here, Mr. Hall, here's a chocolate for your mom. So my mom's eating this chocolate, and I'm seeing this glowing smile on this wonderful woman's face. And then I came back to sit on the couch, and I thought, why did I let that slip for 25 years? Why did I let that slip? I know we can't, and I never will live with regrets, but why? Why didn't I just enjoy the moment? But the drugs and the alcohol and everything that went with it was calling, and it was calling strongly. So for all the youngsters, I tell them that every day. I said, go inside that room there. That's your motherline there. That could be your motherline there. Okay, sorry guys, but like we are smoking, we're smoking Camel Extra Tuned Double Switch Triple Comeback Light. It's from Namibia. It tastes like a cigarette. And hopefully soon, Kurt and I decided we're going on another mission. We're going to try and stop smoking, Kurt and I, together. So we're looking forward to that. We're looking forward to tomorrow for finishing off a few things we've had to do. We've taken down a lot of the fences on the farm, the internal fences, because they weren't looking so good anymore. And we wait for summer to come from next month, from spring. This is one of the most, and I mean it not because we got the farm, don't get me wrong, one of the most beautiful places in spring. It's one of the most beautiful places. There's other people I just want to thank, because I'm in, because I always forget about it. I always forget about it. I want to thank our attorney, Alton Shortless, who does so much work for addicts who come in, who've got possession cases, dealing cases, theft cases, you name it. And not one of them have gone to prison yet. So he's an attorney from Worcester. He's a young man, and he's a wonderful person. And I would like to also thank the people who, my neighbor Christy, who's just done us a favor with some of our animals, not our dogs, some of our other animals that we had here. And again, Swanee's vegetables and fruit, where we buy all our vegetables and fruit, and they give us very good prices, so we can keep the prices low here. We never had to ask. They just are so sits good people. And there's so many people around Worcester that are really good people, you know, and people we meet in Cape Town. Dion who's blessed us, Ura has blessed us, Michelle has blessed us, and there's so many good people. And I can assure you, every blessing that comes into this farm goes to the people. Goes to the people. That we don't live because we want to just take and get and see what we can score. The weekend away in up the west coast, I went to Veldrift, Langebaan, and Leiplek. It was a bit cold, but it was nice to get away. It's amazing how we stretch. You know, we go there and we get recognized straight away, and then when we were in a place in the Overberg the other day, people came up to us, two farmers, and said, "Thank you for spreading the message on the videos." And we're making an impact, but we need to make an impact in such a way that we rid this cancer that is eating out. I'm not too worried about myself, friends. I'm 56 years old, so God spares me another 20 years. I'm a happy puppy. But I've got a 15-year-old daughter. And I'm not going to see my daughter go through this crap. And so if it has to come to what it's going to come to, then it has to come to that. Huh? And we have to then decide where we're going to stand and what side we're going to stand on. In our recovery, I've just at this moment, I know that if the state of the country was like this and I was drinking, I couldn't care. As long as I had my next drink. And my next drink is what is important. You know, we got World Addiction Day, the RAEL World Addiction Day, that was founded in 2009 by myself, 4 o'clock in the one morning on the couch because I couldn't sleep. And it brings me back to this place that one man and one woman gave me my dream year. And that was Miles October and a lovely lady. Miles is a beautiful man who's just had a little bubba as well. And Denise Levy, the owner of Cape Town Productions and the Ginger and Lime restaurant. What beautiful people gave me a start to set up this this farm. And I will never be able to repay them, and I will never be ungrateful for what they have done for me. They have saved lives without them even knowing it. I stay in contact with Miles a lot, but they have saved so many lives without even being here, just by us having this place open. I think a lot of times we take things for granted, and we get to the point that we don't realize, hey, say thank you. Continue to say thank you and enjoy the fruits of their hard labor, that we can try and save a person's life. It's a collective effort, and I believe in the collective. I believe that everyone has got a voice, and everyone, hi Leslie, everyone must have a time where they have that voice, and everyone must have an opinion. It doesn't matter if I differ with Clutchy's opinion. I'm not going to have a fight with Clutchy. We're going to differ on opinion, and try and find common ground. But we don't have to hate each other because we don't accept each other's opinion. You know, we are very hard here. We are very hard, but and the ones who've witnessed it will know we are hard people. But there's a lot of love. The only reason we are hard because we're not going to take shit when you've got 32 or whatever addicts running around and thinking they can run the show because I'm not their mother. But there's no violence here. There's no hardness in the way I think the hardness here is yes is yes, no is no, and when we've said no, it's no. It's non-negotiable. That is the hardness. There's no hardness in treating people like animals and taking away their human rights and their dignity and all that kind of stuff. Otherwise, we wouldn't have people here for years. So I think it should be called more of a firmness. We are very firm in what we do because we know the game. We've been there. And the only reason that we know this game is because we've walked the road. So yeah, if no other questions coming on, it's lovely to see each other. It's always great to see each other. It's always great. I don't know if Michelle wants to talk about Mavericks. You want to advertise about? I've never been there, Michelle. Do you have lights, Carl?
It's not working.
No, do you have a light?
Yes.
Okay, Carl has been here like 5-6 months, and he runs his tax service from here. Now, Carl is not the brightest spark in the box. Now, he can be brighter, but what a lovely man he is. He's a beautiful man. He's a people pleaser, and we'll get that out of him, but a lovely person. A really down-to-earth, honest, kind, nice person who used to be a TikTok. He had more followers on TikTok than Britney Spears at one stage. A lovely man. So we can bypass his faults, because we've all got faults. His is just that he's not the sharpest pencil in the box. But when it comes to computers, this man is sharp. I've seen people come here. Hi, Richard. Did I forget about you? Hi, Richard. Don't get resentments now. Yeah, Richie carries resentments quickly. Huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And, but what a beautiful person. Everyone around you, and the Baba wasn't too well, but the Baba is okay now. It's okay, and that will go well. So we're one big family here. We don't hold resentments. We work things out. We carry on. The next morning we wake up, and it's a new dawn. Not the new dawn of Cyril Ramaphosa, because if that's a new dawn, I'd rather stay in the old dawn. And that's what I'm talking about, an ex-girlfriend of mine. I'm not at all. Clutchy, how's Poppy? Okay, one night I'll tell you the story about Clutchy and Poppy. I've got a couple of things I can tell you about Michelle as well. I can't really see who's online here. It's a bit difficult. But definitely Clutchy. I can see Michelle's grey hair coming out there. Oh, it's blonde. Sorry, Michelle. Sure, I can't see who's online here. And, yeah, so that's the way it works. Yeah. Let me just... Carl, when you get to my age, my brother, you need glasses, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, someone's sending me hearts and loves. I see. Hi, Michelle. How are you? Martin is doing very well. Martin is doing exceptionally well. I think this is now that he's taken the turn, and I think now he's taken the turn, so it's lovely. Thanks, Graham. Taken the turn, so he's on his way up. Is the doctor online? I think she is online. Yeah. That's another one I want to thank, who treats 98% of the people. I think she's been paid twice. And she's seen about 100 patients, all like 3 times a year, 2 times a year. And she doesn't charge like 98% of the time. So she plays a very important role in the RAEL organization. And it's always like... Okay, now Michelle is contesting with me whether it's grey or blonde. I said it was blonde. I was trying to be nice. I was trying to be decent, which I haven't been my whole life. What are you thanking the doctor for, Ura? Have you lost your mind, my bro? Okay, sorry, I'm just going through the other one here. Okay. Okay, so, you know, Gladwin, yeah, just come put this right here, please, Carl, because this thing is tripping me. And there we go. Gladwin, you won't believe how proud I am of you, my brother. Now, you came through very difficult odds. And you stuck it out, then went home, and you're still sober. Many didn't give you a chance. Huh? Many didn't give you a chance, my boy. I'm very proud of you. God works in the ways that we don't sometimes understand. We don't sometimes fathom. Okay, yeah, Order. You said you must thank the doctor. You're right. I will thank her. Colleen, seems like something has gone wrong. What are you smoking, Colleen? See me? Yeah, no, I'm sure they are. Okay. But Michelle and Limpy, Martin he's taking a turn. He's taking a good turn. And it's always sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly, but he's taking a very good turn. So tomorrow we get our next one in. On Thursday we get another one in. And then Tuesday is the next person at very reduced rates. Very reduced rates. Spare my feelings, save my life. That's what business we're in. We're in the life-saving business. I read a very disturbing thing about tomorrow, Stellenbosch, where Black Lives Matter and some other organization are going to cause mayhem, destruction. Please keep them in your prayers in Stellenbosch. Very farmy area for those people that are not from the Western Cape, or those people who are online here. I see from the United States of America. I wish we had a president like Donald Trump. I love him. Just keep the people, keep the people in prayer. Hi, Darren. Keep the people in prayer, and we pray that it storms with rain tomorrow. Ura, I don't know where Daryl is, because I believe Michelle had an argument with Daryl. They broke up before they could go on a date, and that's why we don't have Daryl on here anymore. But I'll give Daryl a call. And then, geez, who else is there? Just now closing off the meeting. Thank you. Now, I just want to see who all is on here. Oh, Gladwin, that's a beautiful message. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, my boy. I appreciate it. You're a good man. You come from a good mother. Or you have a good mother. Obviously, you come from your mother, because you couldn't have come from your father. You know what I mean? And it's wonderful. You're one of the miracles. Let me tell you, my boy, you're one of the miracles. You're one of the miracles that is coming through the program. And then, sadly, it's in Cape Town, but I think it's from outside of Cape Town. A young boy was shot. And tonight, the mother was shot in the head, I think 2 months ago or something. They've kept him alive on a ventilator. And I've been following the story. And sadly, the boys won't make it. And they will be pulling the plugs tomorrow morning. It's tragic. It was a stray bullet that hit this young boy, I think of 9 years old. And just keep those parents in prayer of the tremendous pain that is going around this world. It's just pain, there's just chaos, and there's just people who want to see more chaos. Men want to be women, women want to be men. People want to bring up children that are boys up as girls. It's chaos, people. God can and will if you were sought. And I think our spiritual lives, and I know mine as well, it gets sometimes, we don't often speak about that. We get too busy. The world keeps us so busy, and I think the world keeps us busy, and it keeps us away from the Word of God, and it keeps us away from prayer. Because maybe Facebook and WhatsApp and all these things are more important than the gospel. And TikTok, I believe that, it's to make us busy, so that by the time that we get to bed, I know sometimes I've got to bed and fallen asleep and halfway through my prayers, or forget to say my prayers. And then I must remind myself, there but for the grace of God, Anthony, that you're still sober, my boy. There but for the grace of God. Hi, Sandy. So let's just keep this very torn country, this very broken country. It's now almost 140 days since people in old age homes haven't seen their loved ones. It's disgraceful. The amount of billions that was spent they could have made a plan and given PPC or the protection to loved ones, just one loved one, just to go tell a person with Alzheimer's, you're not alone. it's very heavy on my heart that I think if I had to diversify from, and it's been on my mind a lot, and I'd love some feedback one day for anyone who can help you with feedback. I'd love to get men in here, like we've got two, who are just not old enough or infirm enough to go into an old age home, but they come here. We've had one here for 9 years, and we've got Brian here for 3 years. It's not my guilt from my parents. It's just that my love for the elderly. It's always been like that. It's always been like that. You true order, the devil has his own thoughts. He's busy playing with our kids' minds. Our kids want to sleep around at the age of 12. They want to do this and want to do that. They want to try drugs. They want to try this, try this. Their biggest supporters on TikTok are some nutters. And I decided not to use TikTok. I used it for an hour, and what I saw in there, I thought, no, okay, I don't need this crap in my life. It's filth. Not all of it, but most of it. Yeah, Dion, the whole world is upside down, and God's gonna put it right. Huh? He's gonna put it right, and that mother and father who have to go to bed tonight, knowing that tomorrow morning they have to virtually kill their son. If there's not a better word for saying that. It shouldn't be done. It shouldn't be there. You know, if you've got 58 people being killed a day in South Africa, we're living in worse what they kill in Serbia or Syria. Myself and the doctor and Richie and Graham, we were near Lebanon, we were near Syria, but we'd have to go over the mountain into Syria, so we weren't right there. We were right there, but we didn't go in there because what are you going to go see there? A building that's broken down. May as well just walk around South Africa. So yeah, I think time has come for, you know, I see a lot of marches being called, but I haven't seen many marches to call for prayer. And not just an hour prayer, 12 o'clock till 10 past 12. It's very sad of what we're going to see after the lockdown of how people recoup who've lost their businesses, people who've been put on short time, people who've lost their jobs, how they're going to pay their bonds, their credit cards, their cars. And what matters at the end of the day is the life. That we can have life, and we can have life abundantly. An abundant life is not because you got a lot of money. I know what it's like to have money, and I know what it's like to have no money. With the money, it's just easier to get from A to B and buy what you want to buy. We're in turmoil, South Africa. And us 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 people who come online, 100 people who come online at night, we can be the difference. The difference for our children. The difference to take a stand against absolute unadulterated evil. We are fighting nothing else but evil. This is my opinion and my opinion alone. But it's evil that we are fighting. So anyway, it's now 10:30. I think all you girls and boys must hit the road and go to bed, because us little kids had to be, all of us, we had to be in our houses by 10 o'clock. I didn't know Hitler ran this country. Yeah, I would have thanked God he's still got a business. But there's hundreds of thousands who don't. Look at all the restaurants that have closed. But anyway, friends, if God spares you and me, we will see each other tomorrow. May you all sleep with the angels. And tomorrow as the sun rises, God will rise with us, and we will defeat evil at every corner. Remember, they may be winning the battle at the moment, but we know the result of the war. God bless you, and God keep you until we meet again. And thanks for being part of us tonight, and us part of you. Thank you.